So it's been almost a year now since I started this channel, and since then I've been uploading a new cryptic clue almost every day to be solved and explained. But this whole time there's been something that kind of bothered me, and that is the solving process for you guys has never been particularly intuitive. What you'd have to do is click on one of my shorts, pause the video, try and solve the clue, and then unpause to check whether you got it right. Well, that's about to change. And that's because I now have a website. I'm very excited about this. So if you're watching this video, that means that the website is now live and you can go ahead and try it for yourself at cogs-turn.com. The link will also be in the description, but what I want to do for this video is basically give you a little tour around the website and also talk slightly about what I kind of want to do with it and where you can get involved. So what you're looking at now is the main page of the website. You can see that there is a grid, then on the right there is a list of clues including a kind of carousel at the top with a play button. So the concept here is that every day I release a clue, and as the clue releases on the channel, it will also become available to solve on the website. But the clues appear in the context of a whole grid. So what we're looking at now is a fully unlocked grid, but if you were to come at the beginning of the season, almost every cell in this grid would be locked, unavailable. And so on day one, there would only be one clue available for you to solve, and every day as you come back, a new clue appears on the grid that you can solve. So I'm really excited about this concept because I've kind of for a long time, and if you've watched the channel enough, you might have heard me talk about it, felt like there's a sort of a problem with the daily clue format, which is that you lose a really valuable part of solving crosswords, which is this process of getting crossings. Like if I'm super stuck on a clue and I can't solve it, if I'm solving a grid, I can look at other clues, get the answers there, and then the cells that join up with the clue that I'm stuck on kind of get revealed, and so I already have half the letters that I need to solve the clue. It makes hard clues a lot easier. And so what I have with this unlocking process is an algorithm that releases clues in an order where you'll rarely see hard clues unless there's already crossings available. This means that we preserve the daily clue format where you can check in every day, but we also have the benefit of being able to get crossings when we're stuck on a clue. So in keeping with the daily clue format, this doesn't work like a normal grid where we can type in the answers. That doesn't work. Instead, for each clue, we have to open the clue solving screen by pressing play. We'll have a look at that in a second, but first I want to just go through a couple of these tabs at the bottom. So you have an account page, and on the account page, you're able to sign in either through email or Google authentication. Now you can interact with the site and solve as much as you want without an account, but what an account does enable is firstly cross-device syncing. So if you have an account that you're signed into on, I don't know, your phone and your laptop, it will save your progress on both devices to the account, so you can jump between those devices and keep going from where you left off. And the other thing an account does is gives you access to a leaderboard. Now, right now, the only people on the leaderboard are the wonderful people who have been testing the website for me. But you can see that on the leaderboard, we have the names of the users and then the points that they have achieved. Now, you might be asking, how does one get points? Well, here we're going to look at playing a clue and it will become clear. So this is a pretty old puzzle, but we're using it for testing right now. When you come to the website, it will be a brand new puzzle with clues you've never seen before. Let's look at this clue, this nice, easy one-star clue to start off with. So as we open the clue tab, you have the clue itself, field to enter your answers, and then you've got two buttons. The first one is a step button and the second one is a check button. So you're going to press this check button once you have the answer and you want to check if it's right. And when you press the step button, it will essentially mimic the process that I use to explain clues in my videos. So always, the first step will show you what the definition is. And you can see here an explanation of the step. If you press it again, it will give you a chunk of wordplay. And this basically works on a tag system. So for each type of indication, whether there needs to be a synonym, an abbreviation, containment, whatever, it will give you a hint telling you within this wordplay section what is going on. And you have the option then to click Show Me, and that will tell you exactly how the clue works. So something here is indicating an anagram, and once I click Show Me, it tells me that editing is the anagram indicator, and we need to jumble up the letters of Pennant to get the answer inept. Inept, of course, means incapable, and if I click check, you should see a cog sweep across the screen, and then we get our clue solved score. So the way that scoring works is that every clue is worth 100 points at base, but for each difficulty cog, you get a multiplier of the corresponding amount of cogs. So this was a very easy 1-star clue. There is no multiplier, it's times by 1, and so our final score is 100. However, if you're solving a 5-star clue, whatever your subtotal is going to be times by 5. So from really hard clues, you can get pretty big numbers. We can also get score bonuses from not using steps. So for every step that a clue has that we haven't used when we solve the clue, you get an extra 25 points, but that's applied before the multiplier. And further, if you manage to solve a clue without revealing any steps at all, this is considered a perfect clue. This gives you an extra 50 points on top of the steps skipped points, and all of that is times by your multiplier. So if we go to a pretty tough clue, let's try 2 companies ban seed trading for caffeinated ingredients. I'm going to solve this without using any steps, and it's going to be a perfect solve, and we'll see what the point total looks like. So the answer is cocoa beans. 2 companies gives you cocoa, and then ban seed trading is an anagram of ban C, their trading positions. Okay, so if I check this, I'm going to get 100 points for solving the clue. Then there's 3 steps that I didn't use, so 75 bonus points. I got a perfect solve, so I get an extra 50 points, and that subtotal is times by 4 because the difficulty is 4, giving us a grand total of 900 points. So the way that this is set up means that you're always going to have a score total somewhere in the range of 100 to just over 1,000 points. You're not going to hit the 1,000 point mark unless you have perfectly solved a really tough clue, and you're almost always going to get more than 100 unless you're solving the easiest possible clue and you use all of the steps. But the point is that no matter how many steps you use, no matter how difficult the clue is, you're always getting points from solving it. And that brings me to something really important to me when developing the site, which is that I really want this site to reward experimentation and learning. So there's no penalty for entering tons of different words and getting them wrong. And no matter how much help you need, you're always rewarded just for the time and effort of solving. So hopefully that will encourage people to learn to try hard clues even if they feel a little bit out of their depth. There's nothing wrong with using the steps, that's what they're there for, and you still win even if you have every element explained to you. One more note while we're here, you might have noticed that at the top here next to the difficulty we have a reveal crossing tick. If you click that, it's toggled for all clues, and the crossings that you have available in that clue are automatically placed in the answer for you. So this is basically an option for you if you want to use the crossings, they'll be there. But if you have crossings but you don't want to see them, you want to try solving the clue on its own, then you can just toggle the reveal crossings off. So as we talked about earlier, the grid progressively reveals itself over the course of a season. Once the grid is fully unlocked, as it is now, there'll be a grace period of about 3 days where the whole grid is available to you and you can make sure you solve it all. And if you do solve it all, you're going to get an extra bonus set of points for solving the grid. So look out for that. Once the grace period is over, the grid will be removed from the site, or it will be moved to the archive where old grids will be kept and a new season will be rolled in. So that explains most of the site. There's just one more tab that I want to talk about, and frankly, it's the tab I'm most excited for. And this star tab is for featured puzzles. So this tab is reserved for puzzles created by you guys. There's nothing here right now, but as the website launches, we will have a puzzle immediately up set by Macaroni, who also is currently dominating as the tester on the leaderboard. So you guys have got some catching up to do. But these user-created puzzles will work in exactly the same way, where they will slowly unlock over time. Although usually we're going to have them be slightly smaller puzzles, so they have kind of a less long of a lifespan as the main grid. But this is where I want to ask for your help. If you would like to try your hand at setting, or you already are a setter and you'd like to have a puzzle featured on the website, then you can join my Discord, which is linked in my channel bio, and there you will be able to submit an application to have your puzzle featured. Don't worry if you don't feel too confident with the quality of your clues yet. I have a great community on Discord who are really supportive and will tell you, what could change, what could be better about the clues. And if your puzzle is nearly there, but not quite, I'm happy to work with you to get it to a point where it's ready for the website. Now, if you're not a setter, you can still help out. And the reason for that is this website is still very much in development. We're pretty happy with where it is now, but there's a lot that may change. So the first note is how it is currently may not remain how it is. But if you spot something that you think could be better while you're using it, then please join the Discord. There'll be a channel where you can give feedback about the website, and in doing that, you might be able to help make it better for everyone. So I think that's about it. Thank you so much for your support over this last year, and I'm really excited for everyone to be able to check out what I have here. I hope you find it fun. If you don't, let me know why, either in the comments here or in my Discord. I hope I made cogs turn, and I will see you tomorrow for a new daily clue.